Hello dear viewers and welcome back to my channels. Today we will be discussing the topic of international trade, its theory, policy and trade form, which is a very important topic. Trade is the name of the process which takes place between two or more bodies. It could be between people or companies in the same area or nationwide. In this process, an exchange of any commodity or any service happens, but if this process of exchange takes place between people or anybody in two or more distinct countries is called international trade. People nationwide or in other countries do trading for their own benefits or their country's benefits. International trade is the combination of different theories, business policies and strategies. Some of these theories or policies of the early age or age under. Mercantilism. This theory was developed in between 1500 and 1750, which was one of the earliest efforts as an economic theory. This theory was based on the principle that a nation's best interests are served by encouraging exports and discouraging imports. The theory of mercantilism was of the opinion that the country's richness was determined by the amount of gold and silver reserves. In the light of the principle of the above mentioned theory, if one country had to export more than other country had import, then the first country had to cover that difference in the price of gold or silver. In this case, to avoid the trade deficit and in pursuit of export surpluses, the nation imposed restrictions on imports. This sort of policy or strategy called protectionism, and this is still applied in some countries of the world nowadays, for example Pakistan. Number 2, absolute advantage. Adam Smith, 1776, expressed his concept of absolute advantage. He says it is an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations, and criticized the logic of regulating the trade in the interest of export surpluses. A. Smith's theory of absolute advantage is based on a simple and clear principle, and on which he focuses that it is the ability of the country to specialize in the production of the goods efficiently than the other country. There should be no restrictions through regulations or any policy by the states. The trade should flow freely according to the demand of the markets. He also says that states' richness should not be judged or determined with the measurement of silver and gold, but it should be judged according to the living standards and prosperity of the nation. Number 3, comparative advantage. This theory was introduced by David Ricardo. He says that a country could gain from trade even if it failed to enjoy an absolute advantage in any goods. This theory of the comparative advantage takes place when there is a question of quality. That is, one is of outstanding quality, and the other product is of better quality. The product could be produced by both the countries, but there will be the point of quality. So far the comparative advantage is concerned, it concentrates on the relative productivity differences, while the theory of absolute advantage focuses on the absolute productivity. Factor proportions. Heckscher-Ohlin theory. The main concept of this theory is that nations should export the goods which are in abundance of, and that country has the ability to produce it efficiently. It means those countries should export the product wherein they have the abundance of materials, labor, land, and capital. It is because of the abundance of the above mentioned essentials, the cost of the production will not only be cheaper but will also be easily available. Utilization of international trade in our everyday life. I think trade and human beings are part and parcel on the globe. If there is any life anywhere on earth, there will definitely be trade in any shape. It is almost impossible that there will be a business without human being. If we look around us, every single person is working to facilitate each other. Trade is affecting us. Are we utilizing the trade in both senses? Business has a positive influence on our everyday life. The international trade provides us with goods, services, and foods, etc., from all around the globe through different and complicated supply chains. With the international trade, there is every possible opportunity for the local economy to grow. With the growth of the local economy, there will be loads of jobs, opportunities for people of the community. It is the international trade that makes us globally connected with one another by purchasing and using goods from all over the world. It is because of this connection with the rest of the world that the transportation of goods becomes an essential part of our everyday lives. Hundreds of thousands of products traveling across oceans and air just for the sake of our needs or to entertain us, to make our lives easier, faster, happier. The circulation of all these global goods means so much within the scale of the international economy, politics, and history, but apart from those big scale of impacts, for each and every individual, it is associated with more than a trade. Thank you very much for watching, and I have given the detail of all this lecture in the description. If you need further assistance, please go and read it. And please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like it. Bye bye.